like we all do it this time.
Good afternoon, Wildcat fans. How's everybody today? You all good? Welcome to Kansas State football from Bill Snyder Family Stadium and to the Wildcat Spring Showcase. I'm Wyatt Thompson. This gentleman is Stan Weber. In just a moment, we will visit with the head coach of the Wildcats, Chris Klein. This is a day to be excited. Wildcat football is back, my friend.
Always excited about K-State football. My 33rd year and my first year to be down in the field. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be so much fun.
Well, it is going to be fun. I hope you've all had a chance to be involved with all of the things on the concourse. If you need anything, just ask. We're here to help you and help you enjoy the day. I think this is going to be a little bit different than what we have done in the past, obviously, but we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. You're going to be watching a lot of things today, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun to see things, but I can't wait to talk to the coach, the new head coach, Chris Klein, and just see all the things that he is trying to implement, because K-State football has great tradition. You know about North Dakota State's success in winning national championships. You mesh the two together, and it's going to be something to behold.
There's so much going on from the start of spring till now. I get the sense that these guys are pretty excited about what has taken place. Lots of learning, lots of growing, for sure.
It's always fun to teach. And coaches, they love to win games, but really they love teaching kids. And when you're starting from scratch and every new play sounds different than before, even though it might be the same thing these players have done their whole lives. So it's a lot of fun. I think the coaches are having a blast right now.
All right, let's bring in the coach of the Wildcats here. A nice warm welcome, if you would, for Mr. Chris Klein. Sorry, sir. Good to see you. Let me put you in the middle here. We were just talking here about what this spring must be like for you and this staff. All new terminology, all new things. From your perspective, how's it going?
It's going exceptionally well, and we're having a blast with these guys. It's teaching, it's educating, and we're all teachers out here, and you can see that as you see the drills and stuff. Just implementing some new things. The foundation's been set. We have a great foundation that Coach Snyder built, and we're just trying to continue to grow upon that. But it's been so much fun to watch these guys embrace the new voice in the front of the room, embrace the new coach that they have. And we're having our individual drills right now, and the guys are eager to learn. And this is a practice day for us. We have to continue to improve upon from day 1 to day 15, and we've seen great growth.
I'll let Stan ask a couple here in a moment, but I want to ask you one here. Because of the newness of this, all of these fans watching, what can you tell them to expect to see here today?
A bunch of guys that love playing team football. They're playing for each other, that are invested in each other, take ownership of the program. It's their program, it's our program, it's the entire community's program. And these guys are having a blast. They're having a lot of fun. They're challenging each other to be great. We're challenging them to win every game day, and this is another opportunity to do that.
Coach, you obviously know about football, but every group is different. And now you've been around these players and now you practice field with them. What encourages you the most about what you see of this group of players?
They care. They want to be great. They challenge each other to give their best every day. And we're challenging them in a bunch of different ways with new drills and new practice format, new terminology offensively and defensively. And these guys are really embracing that, and they're making each other better.
What's the thing you think about over the summer and in the fall two-a-days? I guess we don't have two-a-days anymore, but in practice, what do you expect to see the most improvement from now till next fall?
Just the fact that we kind of are putting a new offense and defense for the first 15 days. Now we have to put it upon the captains, the leaders. They have to take us through the summer because we can't be around them. Now we get to August and we're going to re-implement and reinstall everything, and I think there'll be some great carryover from what they learned in the spring to fall. But we challenge those guys. They have to be great this summer. They have to challenge each other to be great, and I'm excited because I know they're ready for that challenge.
It's an interesting thing when you talk to these players. One, they're having fun, and I think that is a big goal. But they've also learned a lot in a very, very short period of time. How impressed are you with their football acumen and just picking up the language and the terminology and your way of doing things so quickly?
It's the want to, and they want to be great. They have a bad taste in their mouth from finishing 5 and 7. They know they're a better football team than that, but you're judged every day, and we challenge these guys every day. And I'm so excited because they know that they're barely scratching the surface for what their potential could be. And we're not going to be great on August 31st without attacking April 12th. And we're going to continue to attack and win every day to give ourselves a chance to be successful at the end of August.
I know you've seen K-State fans all over the place, Dallas, everywhere. You don't get a chance to do this in the fall very much. What does it look like to see those fans ready to root for you?
Well, they're going to root for us. There's nothing about me a part of this. It's about us, and it's about them, and it's about the community. It's about these players, and we're going to embrace this together, and we're going to attack it together, and with all of our help. And I know they're going to be crazy loud when we get to the season. Just trust the process on us. These kids are working their tail off, and we'll be ready to go at the end of August.
How enjoyable has it been for you to be out there on the field teaching some players? I know head coaches don't get a ton of opportunity to do that, but I know you love doing it.
I do love doing it. I would rather not do what I'm doing here than talking around. I'd rather be out coaching, but I enjoy talking about the game. I'm an old defensive back. I like to grab the safeties, the nickels, talk technique, talk terminology. I like to sit with the quarterbacks and kind of give them my knowledge of the defensive perspective. That's the game of football, is teaching, and the kids retaining some of that information.
A couple of more, and then we'll let you get to work here. We've had an interesting week here with the Wildcat auction last night. It was your first. I guess I just want to ask you your thoughts of that and just what you've learned about Kansas State and K-State athletics in just, what, 90 days?
Yeah, it's been a fast 90 days for starters, and what a great event last night. I can't thank all the people for the amount of support that they support these student athletes that are working their tail off in every sport, and they give back to this great institution that has given them so much. The pride that you see at Kansas State is probably unmatched anywhere in the country. And I love going around and speaking to different people, whether it's in the state of Kansas or Dallas, or anywhere around in between. It's a fun time for me to go out there and share the knowledge that other people have about K-State football and giving it to me. Because I'm a sponge too. I'm trying to show all this thing as well.
It's easy for us to stand here and say this, but we have been so impressed with your staff, and we're going to get a chance to talk to, if not all, most of those guys here in the next 30 or 40 minutes here. What was it like going through the process of hiring these guys? Many of them you knew, if not all of them, but to get them here had to be a big priority, and it worked.
It definitely did, and there's a lot of great football coaches out there, but these guys are great men that care for kids, challenge guys, show kids that they love them, and that's something that's probably not done enough in this business, is it's okay to tell a kid you love them. It's okay to tell a kid how much you care for them. You can challenge those young men if they know you love them, and that's what these guys do. I'm so impressed in the 90 days we've been here. You take 30 days on the road. We had a week of spring break. Those 5 weeks and the relationships and the bonds that these coaches have built with these players is pretty remarkable. It shows you the high character and high caliber guys we have here.
I'll salute you on one more front. Getting to know these guys and all the faces and personalities is not easy, and all of these guys, meeting you and your staff, seem to have done it very quickly.
Yeah, we really have, and that's something that you have to do. Nobody's a number, everybody's a name, and it's really important when you see them in the hallways, you see them in the locker room, you see them in the training table, that you're addressing them by their name and talking to them about something, whether it was about how their day was or somebody in their family, and that's building relationships, and the tighter those relationships are, the more you're going to get out of an individual because they know you care. And our coaches definitely care, and shout out to all the former players. We're here because of them. We're here because of the blood, sweat, and tears they put on this field, on Old Memorial Stadium. We're here because of the foundation that they built. And we have an unbelievable platform here because of what those guys have done. So I appreciate those guys so much.
Thanks so much for the visit. We'll talk with you in just a little bit.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. Chris Klein. We are now joined by Klein. I think all of you recognize his face. Great to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good to be seen. I'm doing well, thank you.
You are a holdover from the previous staff. We're going to talk to a lot of coaches today about the newness of this, but it's actually new for you too. What's it been like?
You know, it's been tremendous. There's so many great individuals, great coaches. Everybody's working hard and trying to get off to a fast start, and it's been good. We covered a lot of ground, long way to go.
Let's talk a little bit about some of that personnel. I know a lot of people are going to start with Skylar Thompson, and he's had a great spring. But you've got a lot more guys in the room than that, and they've all had a nice workout.
No question. We've come a long way and made good strides protecting the football. And Skylar's really attacked it and improved a lot. And really dissecting his game on his own, and then working together with that and applying it into this new scheme and new terminology. And he's done a tremendous job.
I think the one thing that gets overlooked with him is not only has he picked up the terminology of the system, but relaying it to the younger players is also important.
Well, no doubt. And it's, I think, too, within our quarterback room, them helping each other out. And that's been really good to see as well. Skylar spearheading that effort. But, we're all in this together. We got to play at a very, very high level at the quarterback position for our team and for our offense. And seeing them work together, help each other out, working with the receivers, working with the backs. They really attack it together, which has been good.
One final question, I guess, here, in terms of what you want to accomplish and see from your guys today would be what?
Play hard, play smart, protect the football, and have a lot of fun, and put a finishing touch on the spring and gain some momentum going into summer.
Keep up the great work, my friend. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That's Colin Klein. Let's go back to the other end of the field. Stan Weber with Joe Klanderman.
Defensive down here, and we got Coach Joe Klanderman working. He's right here. What drill are we working on right now with your safeties?
Just working a little man technique. That's something that these guys are going to have to do a little bit more of this year.
Safeties have to do so much. The passing game is a big part of their lives, but they have to be physical. What do you look for your best safeties?
Well, there's so many skill sets that these guys need to do. They're going to be in the box in the run fit. They're going to be blitzers. They're going to be playing man. They're going to be in the middle of the field. They're going to be playing half field. You got to be a pretty complete player for the safety here.
You came from North Dakota State with Coach Kleiman. What is your impression of K-State so far?
I love it. The fan support is unbelievable. You guys are unbelievable. The culture here has been established. We're just trying to keep this train on.
When you think about what you've implemented, what percent of the defense do your guys know?
Depends on what day of the week it is. I think we're pretty much there with the big concepts. There's not a lot that they haven't been exposed to. Now, whether or not they fully understand those things is another matter.
As a group, what's your impression of these guys so far, your safeties?
I love them. These guys work their butts off. They're grinders. They love football. They're natural players. I love working with these guys every day.
We're so glad to have you at K-State. Thanks for spending the time.
Go Cats.
Joe Klanderman, safeties coach.
All right, we are going to welcome our new offensive line coach into the fold now. He is Connor Riley. Great to see you again. Tell us a little bit about your group and what your initial thoughts of this bunch of guys was.
Well, we have some older guys, some more mature guys who've gotten a lot of reps out here, and that shows. That shows how quickly they've been able to pick up on the offense, pick up on a little bit different of the terminology, and that's the thing I'm really pleased with.
You win football games at this level with physicality. What about that part of it? Were you impressed to this point in what you've seen?
Yeah, I am, especially their desire to be physical. Are we there yet? No, we're not. With how I want to define finish, we're not quite there yet, but it's a process. And we got an opportunity out here today to take another step towards what we're looking for.
You have some experience, as we talked about, with 4 returning starters, but you also have some new faces to this program. What's it been like with the teaching for you? I know you're kind of a technical guy. I'd like to get in and grind with those guys. How have they picked up the new system?
You know, like I said, I think they're picking it up pretty well. The urgency that we have, to me, has got to continue to increase. The urgency with our preparation. You know, I've used the word already, finish. How we continue to compete. That's one of the things that I'm continuing to look for, especially with those younger guys. You know, we got some experienced guys in there, but at the same time, I want those guys behind them to continue to press it.
When you look for a leader, Connor, what are the couple of things that you are looking for most?
Well, you've heard Coach Klein talk about it, servant leadership, and the best definition of that is doing something without toil or remorse. You know, and guys who are going out there who are not only setting a great example, but holding the people next to them to high accountability. That's what we're looking for.
Enjoy watching you coach. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, guys.
Connor Riley, let's go to Stan, who's standing by with Buddy Wyatt.
Yes, I have Coach Buddy Wyatt right here, defensive ends coach, and you've been around the Big 12 a lot. You've been around Kansas State football on the other side. Now you got the Power Cat on. What's it feel like to be here after getting so many stops in the Big 12?
It's great. It's great. It's great to have the purple on. You know, it's coming in here as an opponent. The fans have always been great. And I tell you, we always say to our players and the recruits that the people make the place. And the people have been so welcoming.
We're glad to have you here. Right behind us, there's a drill going on. What are you trying to accomplish there from the defensive ends?
Well, we're just trying to get a little physical, trying to work on our block recognition, our technique, making sure our hands are correct, and we have good footwork.
Pass rushing is so much fun for the players. Where are they with their techniques now? What is your philosophy on them getting to the quarterback?
We're a work in progress. Okay, we're getting better. We're still not there. But the kids are working extremely hard. I'm excited about the group of guys I can work with. And so we're going to continue to get better.
I know you believe in physicality. The whole staff does, and being an old school football guy, you obviously do. But nowadays you have to tone that down a little bit. How is it working with defensive ends today where you don't have quite as much physical contact?
You wouldn't know that in the spring, but our offense is a physical offense, and that's what we pride ourselves on. So when we play against spread offenses, we got to make sure that we have good eyes and we read our keys correctly, and our footwork is important.
What are you most excited about as the season unfolds?
I'm excited about getting to work with these guys and just watch them grow and get better as we go on week to week.
It's Buddy Wyatt, defensive line, defensive end coach for K-State. Thank you, Coach.
right, thank you. This is Jason Ray, new receivers coach at Kansas State. Let's go through the start of the spring till now. How much have you learned about these guys? How much have they learned about you?
I think they've learned a lot about me. I've learned a lot about them. So from day one to now, I think that the guys have gotten better. We're truly trying to get better fundamentally, trying to get techniques down. So as we have position meetings, as we have our installs, I think we've gotten a chance to really know how each other operate. They understand my teaching techniques, and we're continuing to get better.
Let's talk a little bit about some of your personnel. I think one of the good things is you do have some depth. This is a good group.
Yeah, it's a great group. Plenty of depth there. Guys have different skill sets, and when you have a group that is deep in that way, you can kind of capitalize on some of the skill sets that they offer to the table. You have a lot of room to wiggle and to kind of experiment with where guys fit in.
It seems like you also have some guys like, well, a couple of guys, I don't necessarily have to mention names, but guys that you haven't had a lot of in the spring that you'll be available in the fall.
Yes, there are some guys that have been banged up, some past history of some injuries and things. And, if they come back full 100%, I think we'll get a chance to really see what they can do when we get into the summer conditioning and really into fall camp. So as guys continue to get healthy, understanding what we want to do from our system, I think we'll be in good shape.
Kind of give us a little bit of an idea of some of these drills and what you look for and what's important to you.
What I primarily look for is really from the beginning of a play, their stance to start. This particular drill, we're working stacks and packs. We're working different three-man combination routes with the receivers. The DBs are obviously trying to put themselves in position where they're making a me-you call. They're trying to block some things. They're just trying to set up their coverage off of just a condensed formation. So I really look for the receivers to come off the ball full speed. Obviously have to catch the football, but in terms of just the basic fundamental, the genesis of the plays, their stance to start. And I want them to be very efficient coming off the line of scrimmage.
Jason, thanks for the visit. Best of luck, buddy.
Thank you very much.
That's Jason Ray, and we go to the other end of the field. Van Malone, our new cornerback coach. We'll stand with him.
Yeah, the other side of the ball, a little different view here of this drill. What are you trying to get done with your cornerbacks?
Well, what we're doing is trying to, number one, be able to communicate and get our guys on the same page. At times we're man-to-man, and we want to make sure that everyone's covered when that ball is snapped.
You are very excitable. I know the players love playing for you, but you've had a lot of guys that haven't been full speed. What's it been like trying to teach those guys when they can't necessarily be a part of all the physicality?
Well, the thing is they have to be able, like Coach said earlier today, it's important for them to get out and they can't tackle. But we have to keep them safe in terms of not having further injury, but let them do whatever they can do. They can participate in some of these drills without going live, but their feet, their eyes, their communication can be on point.
What do you think of this group of guys so far as you see them play in the 15 practices?
Well, one of the things I think we've said it before is that these guys play hard, they're extremely close, and in a very short time, we've had the opportunity to form relationships with them. And I'm excited about the future.
Man-to-man, there are a lot of ways to do it, a lot of philosophies. What is your main philosophy? You're teaching the guys about man-to-man coverage.
Like this, really tight, really tight.
And you want them to look at the football at what point on a longer throw?
We want to be able to look at the football when you have your man under control. We work all throughout the snap to garner control of the man, or you can't look at the football if you're not in position to look. So we want to get ourselves in position to be able to look and play the ball.
You're an energetic guy. We're looking forward to meeting you more. Have you enjoyed it here? Oh, he's got to go. You got to. You're supposed to guard somebody at all times. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here.
Van Malone, quarterback coach, K-State.
Now joined by Courtney Messingham. He is the new offensive coordinator at Kansas State. Mess, let's talk a little bit about start to finish here in spring. What's impressed you the most about your guys?
Well, probably should have expected it, but just their work ethic, their desire to be successful, and they jumped right in and started learning from day one.
It's really interesting when you look at this offense. It's obvious it's going to be somewhat different from what's been in the past. Let's talk about maybe like the shotgun as opposed to the quarterback under center. What are going to be the differences there?
Well, we're going to do both. We've got to have a guy that understands getting under center and being able to still throw the ball. It's got to be important to him. But then we'll get in the gun, we're going to run the football. So we're going to make teams defend the pass or the run, no matter if we're under center or if we're in the gun.
What kind of advantage was it for you to have Klein here and know so many of these guys? I would think that would be paramount.
Yeah, obviously from the quarterback standpoint it's huge, but it's even bigger when you start talking about what are the O-linemen about? What's their mindset? How do they take coaching? And then with the receivers and the tight ends and fullbacks, he's got a really good handle on who those guys are as people, and that's a huge deal for us.
What's the advantage for you, too, of working in this league previously? I think that would be big, too.
Well, I think it's big because you got a good idea of what the mindset of most of the defenses are. And because of the style of football that everybody else plays, everybody is more of a fastball team, going to try to get lined up and just snap it. And we got to be different, and we're going to use the clock, we're going to use different formations, different personnel groups, and make them defend hopefully the whole field.
You coordinate the offense, but you also coach the fullbacks and the tight ends, and in this offense, those are two paramount positions. What are your thoughts about how those guys are doing this?
You know, they've done a really, really good job, and the biggest reason is because they understand fullback or tight end has got to be interchangeable. So all of a sudden you'll see Blaze Gammon out there at 6'7" in the fullback position. And you'd say, well, why? Well, because there's things he brings to the table that we got to get the most out of him. And sometimes it may be being a fullback that moves and catches the ball on the fly.
You've coached a long, long time. I'm curious as to just these guys and the quickness in which they have picked up all of the things that you guys have taught in basically 14 and a half practices here. It's been impressive.
Well, believe it or not, we did not slow things down. We put the install in exactly the way that we did at North Dakota State last spring. And our guys didn't blink. Our guys spent a lot of extra time on their own, watching video and going back through playbooks, and I'm excited about working with them.
You do not have a whistle around your neck like everybody else. I would like for you to give a little example of why. Would you do that?
Well, now I don't find a whistle each day, so I just kind of give a little... And that would be it. So, hey, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Courtney Messingham, offensive coordinator at Kansas State. We go to defense now with Stan in just a moment. Here with Scotty Hazelton, the new defensive coordinator for the K-State Wildcats. And Coach, we're so glad to have you here. You've won Super Bowls with the Baltimore Ravens. You've had one of the top defenses with Wyoming. Your impression of these players that you've seen on the defensive side so far this year?
You know what? They're guys that work really hard, man. They just they want to get better every day. They're disciplined. You know, they work hard. I mean, they're great kids to be around.
15 practices. May sound like a lot to the players, but to the coaches it's about a minute. And you got to get ready to compete against this offense that Coach Messingham brought. But it's not like what Big 12 offenses run. How have you balanced getting ready for what you're going to see in the fall and playing what you see today?
You know, Coach Mess's offense is a deal that they will go spread, they will go fast. So we've been having him sometimes simulate some of the things that we'll see. It's always fun to get them out there, and they'll do a drill where there's 6 plays as fast as they can, and that really helps us. And then, you know, the other stuff, there's things that, sorry, that's messing me up a little bit, but
It's a lot harder than you think to talk and then hear it 2 seconds later. So this is a heck of a skill.
but it's good because we get a chance to be physical against people. We get a chance to work basic techniques and fundamentals sometimes, and we got to sell to the players that way. But then when they do go 11, we do drills like this or we do something that's fast, that's really our time for them to scout for us. So it really helps us.
You've been against wide open offenses in Wyoming, and you did a great job. But I don't think everybody here watched a ton of Wyoming tape yet. So when you get to do what you want to do, what is your defensive philosophy, if you can generalize it?
I would say, you know, we're one of a group of guys that play really hard. They run to the ball, they're stripping the ball, they're ball aware, because that's really what the game's about. The second thing is they play fast. You know, offenses give you tells, no matter how fast they line up, whether guys are undersplit or they're bunched, or they give you looks that you can cheat. And we really need to get learning those things so that we can play really fast. And then, you know, hopefully it's a group of guys that play together. You know, this is a family out here. It's been that way for a long time. And for these guys, it's easy for them. They celebrate together, they talk trash together, they have fun. And that's really what you want to put on the field.
When I see competitive football, the philosophy I have is winning that 3rd to 4 and 3rd to 7 play. Can you get them off the field or not? Can you give us a feel of what you'll be doing in those times? Hopefully no one else is listening. But in general, how often will you blitz and bring the heat, play man? Are you just going to mix it up? What is your philosophy on 3rd down?
You know, third down is a deal that you have to give them the idea that we're blitzing every play. If you do blitz, that's great. If you don't, you want them to feel like this pressure, you know. So we'll get some guys up towards the line of scrimmage, and you know, we'll try to mess with the quarterbacks a little bit, because that's the thing, you know, the offensive guy standing up in the booth or standing on the sideline, he knows what you're in anyway. It's the guy in the field that you got to mess with, you know. As long as you get the quarterback wondering, then you're okay.
Speaking of field or booth, where will you be? It's always interesting to me to see where will the coordinators play the game out, because there's so many advantages up there and so many advantages down here. Where will you be?
I'll be on the field. We just have a chance where we talk to the linebackers and the safeties. You know, we split up our staffs. We have really experienced them. So those guys, we'll split them up where we can talk to each other. But then I can go through and I can hit the linebackers, the nickels, the safeties. You know, we can get Van doing the DBs. And all. So we'll be split up, but I'll be on the field.
Physicality is a big part of defense. Where are these guys so far right now?
You know, the pounding that the offense does really helps us. And our defensive front has done a great job holding the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if we can continue that.
We took a whole 5-minute segment away from you, so thanks for spending the time. Good luck this year. Scotty Hazelton, defensive coordinator.